Greetings, Levi Jonathan, Ross Reports. I just took a brief pause before my dog ate a bird. I'll try to keep it quick because it's taken me a long time to upload these videos. FreeMake video converter is not working, usually it's faster. And this ties into everything I'm about to report on. This article, Atlantic, technology will soon erase millions of jobs. The theme of it is that, this could be a good thing. We're going to have no jobs, we're going to have no work, and we're going to have all this playtime. As man has been predicting for centuries, according to them, although they didn't give any reference to where that claim comes from. But yeah, in the biblical terms, man worships those things that were made with his hands, and as a result, he gets rewarded with evil. It happened with the molten calf. It happens with the brass serpent. You can go from the Old to the New Testament. For the love of money is the root of all evil. It's those things that we have made with our hands that have become our idols. And by practicing this idolatry, it has caused the wrath of God to become great. And that's manifesting itself in the environment as we speak. We're going to see superstorms, we're going to see flooding, we're going to see parched land, no water, and we're going to really appreciate what we once had. Is there a solution? For those that perhaps get bored easily, distracted easily, because of course that's a result of this technology. It's done by design. Yes, there is. It's a mass migration into the land, to occupy the land, to put the land to use. Of course, the Homeland Security is geared up for this. People like Alex Jones, who's a phony, will tell you about these types of things. Of course, other phonies like Elon Musk will tell you that artificial intelligence could destroy mankind, but at the same time he's one of the best friends with the producers of artificial intelligence, what I consider to be the Antichrist, the man-beast manifested in its physical form. But the root of it is man's wickedness, man's greed, man's lust. That was the sin, and as a result of the sin, this is what we get. So this article, again, they have themes. Last month the theme was that the man that was poisoned so bad that his body burned inside and he had felt so much pain that he had a heart attack after 45 minutes was actually evil and he deserved it. That was the theme. Although when you look at the article you say, well, they're going to tell us how injecting people with poison is inhumane and we need to find a better way, but it's all about what the reader obtains out of it. A lot of times, if you don't have time to read these articles, just read the last paragraph, and you'll get what the purpose of the author is. And a lot of times, the author doesn't actually, he does more writing or whatever, and the editor will come along and he'll change the style or the format so that it will reflect that particular agenda that they seek. At the end of this, it says somebody's lost their job. He was in Youngstown, a big industrial city, up to World War II, crashed. But as a result, he ends up getting a master's degree, becomes a teacher, and he pursues the work that he always wanted to do, as if he really always wanted to become a teacher. I would assume that if he really always wanted to become a teacher, he would have already became a teacher. It costs money to get a master's degree. I mean, it doesn't seem like any solution. It doesn't seem like anything good. And I'll go ahead and say that I finished this book recently, Technological Slavery by Ted Kaczynski. It's a wonderful book. It's absolutely wonderful. It took me a while to read it, but it reinforces my own thoughts as I've attempted to reflect on Ross Reports. And I'm trying to condense these reports and make them more concise and get to the point, generally. Initially, it was an attack on the oppressor, and my purpose was to get as much reporting as I could in, and also show people that, hey, the herb is not harmful to people. You can still use herb and think, but if you're distracted with all these things and you believe that the herb gets you effed up and, then yeah, that's what's going to happen. But if you praise the Lord, you praise Emperor Haile Selassie I, and Stay in the book, stay in the Bible, refrain from sin, do good works unto others, love your neighbor as yourself, love your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. And the herb's going to be for the service of man, as David proclaimed. Genesis 1:11, Genesis 1:12 states the herb was given to man before Jah even created day and night. That's all besides the point. Although we do have to make it clear that man is attempting to defeat nature, and he will fail. You know, Jah is nature. Nature is Jah. And Jah wants us to love his creation. And if we don't love his creation, it's going to come back on our heads. So a couple points that this article makes is, in 1964, the nation's most valuable company, AT&T, was worth $267 billion in today's dollars. So that would be considered real value. And employed 758,000 plus people. Today's telecommunication giant Google is worth $370 billion, but also it only has about 55,000 employees. So AT&T, 267 billion, 758,000 plus people. Google, 370 billion. What is that? 20-30% more. I don't know the math off the top of my head. Has 55,000 employees. So that's a tenth of the size of employees. And we all praise Google. I mean, Google's, first of all, funded by the Pentagon, as I mentioned, and you know, these faces they use, they're just puppets. And they employ many employers from the Pentagon and from the armed forces into Google. That makes up a large amount of their workforce. They comprise of the groups like DARPA that make these robots. So hopefully, in their mind, hopefully they can defeat the Taliban, which is just a bunch of tribesmen with antique weapons. You know, but they have heart apparently, because they've defeated man's mechanisms and man's ways. And I'm not endorsing Taliban. But what I do have to say is that those people actually do appreciate nature, and you have to give them respect for that. It says right here, shrewdness of software, we may not see the effect until the next recession or the recession after that. So given more proof, more evidence of the man-beast and of the fact that machines have caused the recession, which is one of my main points. I know I addressed it a few months ago on the radio, WMNF 885. I don't endorse them. They're leftist liberals, and it's just conformism, basically, funded from big players like George Soros for the Open Society, based on Karl Popper. And, you know, the leftists just seem like they're just going to the slaughterhouse. You know, they line up to go to the slaughterhouse. You got to really learn to think for yourself. You know, I respect people that think for themselves. It doesn't so matter what they think. Just the fact that they're able to think for themselves deserves respect. But if you just follow in line, or you don't really know what to think, and you listen to somebody else and you believe it, then that's called ignorance. And you know, there is a cure for that, but it has to come from within. But the point is that, yeah, the recession was caused by automation and robots. The housing market crash is only a symptom of the recession. No economist has explained yet how the housing market crashing has to do with the recession. You know, it's the other way around. The recession causes people to have less money in their pocket, which is based on people losing jobs or accepting lower wages. And as a result, they're unable to purchase housing. So that was only a symptom. And of course, we had the war, which, if the U.S. is a corporation, which it is, and we go spend a whole bunch of our taxpayer money that could be used to, say, protect the water resources and things of this nature, but instead we use it to build bombs and kill people, you know, there's going to be effect. No company can just spend endless amounts of money on expenditures and see, you know, positive results on the end line. The war is depopulation. You know, that's going to begin to spread. I think it was Israel Vibration said this a third world slaughter is headed to the new frontier, and that was a prophecy in itself. It will